Hey, hey, hey. Yeah. RKO, she in the south like Miss Foley, she know that we making it hot. Chris and Chris, we be the champs to the people, you know it's like we be the rock. Back to back, we pack a punch like Ray Sangin, I think you should know be. We ballin', and rest in peace Kobe, we on 'em. We loose in the streets and our crew is elite like Wakanda. No, you shouldn't sleep. When Chris and Chris get to talking, can't miss it like shooting your shot. We be the mans, we flaming the spot. We going sand, Kamehameha. Into the Christophers. No, this is not for the feeble. The coaches, you know that they need us. Like vultures, we feed it. We ballin' like Khan. We feelin' like John because you cannot see us. We up, you can't reach us. Rest in peace, Eddie. No lying, no cheating. We just speaking facts. Feelin' like Dent. You know, on any dark night, we be ready like we is the bet. Far from a joke. Like John Wick, we be lethal like Baki. No, we never fail. Ready to pop. Ready to beat down the culture like Angie. No, we on the trail. Yeah.
Oh, hello, Christian.
Hello, Chris.
If you guys know me, I'm Chris from, I'm Chris from the Smoker Section podcast. And you guys are familiar with Mr. Busta, Christian over here.
What up? What up?
We're trying something new, as you can see from the layout and everything. And if you're clicking on this, you know this is something new. What is this, Christian?
This is Pop Culture Beatdown, a entity of, I guess you'd say, Smoker Section.
Under the rainbow, under the umbrella of Smoker Section, something different. You know, me and Christian are that's what we're in here to tell you guys today. We love, as you can tell, we love pop culture. We love wrestling. We love movies, TV shows, music. Like, we wanted to bring something where we talk about that, quote unquote, review things, give you our thoughts on stuff. Just have fun.
Just talk about what we love, basically.
Because we realize when we get on the game, or me and Christian text each other constantly, we just love talking about this stuff. We love having conversations, quote unquote, arguing about it.
Or sometimes I do stuff to get you upset on purpose.
Yeah. He likes to stir the fucking pot. But we wanted to fucking bring that, because we figured, hey man, it'd be fun to talk about this and start a podcast. It was your idea. You messaged me.
Well, yeah, because the only reason I thought about it is because I was like, man, me and Chris talk a lot about, through text messages about shit. I was like, why not just have an outlet where we talk about it, so everybody can hear our opinions, not just me and him.
Yeah, because I think our opinions a lot of times it goes against the grain. Sometimes it is right with the mainstream, but we just wanted to get out there and have fucking fun with this shit.
Plus, shit, all our friends are always telling us, like, man, you guys are...
We were... as Freddie would say, Freddie be like, how the fuck do you guys know, like, Freddie from Smoker Section? We would talk to him about, oh, yeah, this actor, that director, he would be like, who the fuck are you talking about? I just go watch what I want to see. So we want to bring that knowledge to people, I guess. This useless knowledge that we love, we just want to fucking spread. So, yeah, so Christian, well, how do we meet? Of course, we were born. No, but what you call it? How did you first? Me and you. What's our history? Like, I know we have a good history with like us being into this shit. Like our parents, right?
Yeah, as long as I can remember, man, we've always had what would you say? I guess deep roots in everything, like movies, music.
Yeah, our parents always kept us up with the stuff. Like your dad, definitely. Like your dad's my brother.
Yeah.
But he's 20 years older than me. So he basically we got of course he's your father, so you got a lot of your taste from him, but I got a lot of my taste from him as well. I want to say, being around all the stuff that we see, and of course my dad too. My poor dad had to deal with taking us to see shit.
Pootie Tang.
Me and Christian, we thought it was normal. We went to the movies probably every weekend.
Every week.
Maybe more than once a week sometimes.
Yep.
And we kind of thought that was a normal thing because this is what our family did. And then we come to find out once we got into our friends groups, some of our friends haven't been to movies in like forever. Like, damn, you guys go a lot, but that was just how it was.
What was weird to me was when my boss at work, he kind of laughed because he said, who goes to movies with their family? Because, he talks to my grandpa too, and my grandpa had told him, oh, yeah, me, Chris, and Christian, and, my dad, Tony, we're all going to the movies. And then he kind of laughed, and he was like, oh, who goes to movies with their family like that all the time? Just I thought it was normal. I guess for some people it's not normal.
Yeah, I guess it's having it's weird. It's like a little bonding thing we do. Like, I guess he found that like weird as fuck, but it's not even just that. It's like,
Shit, we all go to wrestling shows too.
Yeah,
Even Chris's dad.
Yeah, we love all wrestling, AEW, WWE, but definitely going to the indie shows. There's nothing like it, and my dad even loves going to that, which is kind of funny because my dad don't like going as much as we do. Yeah. My dad be like, man, you guys go too much, but once every 6 months, my dad will definitely go.
We took him to like a War Games match. He had fun at that one, ain't it?
Yeah, the War Games was like a
GCW
death match shit. If you guys are familiar with that, that shit could get brutal as fuck. But man, yeah, man, we just fucking love doing that shit. Love talking about it. Love having arguments about it. As you can see, Christian's favorite wrestler is Roman Reigns. Just right sitting by him.
Hey man, a big dog.
Fucking yeah, man.
Oh yeah, so I don't know if on this first episode, I don't know if we're gonna have our like real intro music yet, but Chris,
we could have one. We could maybe have one.
Chris, he had
I went to Fiverr. I don't know if anybody heard of Fiverr. I went to Fiverr and want me to play it, Christian?
Yeah, well, he had commissioned somebody to maybe give us a sample of what they would think of, would be a good intro. And yeah, go ahead and play it, Chris. They need to hear it.
It's pretty fucking awesome. I think it's the best thing I ever heard in my life. As I bring that up, but let's see here. Under the sun.
You're gonna hear us joking about this a lot in the future.
And Christian, we're on a mission. Cover everything. Under the sun. Yeah, so that was going to be our intro music. First of all, the guy got it wrong because our podcast name is Pop Culture Beatdown because, a combination of wrestling and pop culture and shit. And this guy said Pop Culture Breakdown. And also, it sounds like a fucking Phineas and Ferb fucking intro.
No, you know what it reminded me of Phineas and Ferb, but also reminded me of, what's that one show, Drake and Josh, kind of like.
Hey, man, Drake and Josh intro is fucking classic. This was, I don't know. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, I gotta show Christian this shit. I was like, I wasn't gonna show him it because we're not gonna use it. But I was like, you know what? I gotta fucking show him this because this is fucking so goofy.
It's been a running joke. Everything under the sun.
Basically, that's what we do. We're gonna talk about everything under the sun. Every topic under the sun. So you're gonna hear that a lot. We want you guys to play with that. But no, Christian. So you went to the Bad Bunny last night. So this is I don't know when this episode's going to come out because we got a lot to work on. But right now it is March 13th, or correct?
Yes, correct. March 13th.
So March 12th, Christian went to a Bad Bunny concert. And I want to get his experience on that. How was that shit?
It was dope.
It looked dope as fuck.
Oh yeah, man. His production was like amazing. It was a dope show. I loved it. Even though I don't really I don't know Spanish. I mostly went to go take my girlfriend, but it was a really good show. I still had a fun time.
It looked dope as hell when he came out in that semi truck.
Yeah,
and he came from the top. From the trailer part. That shit looked fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was dope. And then they opened up the semi. It kind of like made it it kind of came down
like a flat surface,
and then made it like a flat surface, and then that's what they used for the rest of the show.
Is that how he exits out too, or?
Yeah, he got because the semi truck was still during the whole duration of the show. The semi truck would drive forward or drive backwards, drive forward, drive backwards, and Yeah, during when the show was over, the semi truck had backed all the way up into the original spot, and then he got off.
So, how would you say the audience was like? Mostly our age group, or
It was like everybody. It was the age was spread all over. It was older people, younger people.
it's crazy how
Dude, he's the biggest artist in the world right now.
It's crazy how he is, but there's still people that don't know who the fuck he is.
Yeah,
Because like our uncle was like, "What the fuck? Who the fuck?" Cause
I have to say, not only is he a great musician, he's a great wrestler. I seen him. I went to WrestleMania last year, seen his match in person, and man, it was awesome. I had the crowd going crazy.
I was making fun of him at first, and then once I seen him in action, and then this past a couple months ago when he was on Royal Rumble,
Yeah,
he's great, and I think it's a shame that they don't have him in the fucking game, but they're putting Holcomb Paul's bitch ass in the game.
yeah.
Or Machine Gun Galley. Like,
I was kind of disappointed. I thought for sure it seemed like they were going to build a storyline with him and Sheamus, going to fight at WrestleMania or something, but it kind of just fell flat. Nothing.
I think it's because his tour's going on,
Yeah.
and how that works. I don't understand that because insurance has to be a bitch for him to wrestle.
Yeah,
Not just that. He gets hurt.
Not just that, but he's doing like multiple nights in different cities, so I'm sure he's tired as fuck. He just wants to relax once this tour is over.
He's gonna be a movie star now, man. He's gonna be in that movie with Brad Pitt coming out.
Oh yeah, that's his acting debut.
Oh no, this is debut.
Narco. I would say Narcos.
Narcos probably his debut, but I mean, it looks like he's gonna be in more stuff. I'm sure it's gonna be smaller roles, but you never know where it might lead.
Yeah.
Like I said, whenever I first heard of Bad Bunny, I was like, "Who the fuck's this fucking asshole?" He was like a bald, looking like he looked like a fucking Pitbull wannabe, and I was shocked because I think this was like a few years ago, and he was already selling out like Allstate Arena, and I was like, "What? Who the hell's this guy? I never heard of him," and then more and more I heard of him and stuff like. Of course, this is my go-to music to listen to. Nothing against that. This is not what I like to listen to, but I like the song Booker T a lot.
Yeah,
I'm sure I like his other stuff
too. That was his opener last night. He opened up with Booker T.
See, that's dope as fuck. Well, see, like I said, I think that's dope. He's a cool dude. Like I do think he's a cool dude. Like he looks like a cool fucking dude to be around.
It was cool because on the screen for his like what do you call that?
Jumbotron.
Well, his
entrance.
You seen on like he had like multiple screens kind of like hanging.
Yeah.
On the screens he had like the 2K version.
So like visuals.
Yeah, on his visuals he had like the fucking WWE 2K Booker T on there, and it was like kind of like spinning around it, showing the character. I was like, oh, that's pretty dope.
That's dope as fuck.
Yeah, and then like later on in the concert, there was like on the little screens. It was kind of like old like TV from back in the day. It showed like TV Guide, and then it would switch the channel, and then you'd see like Animal and Hawk doing like a promo, and then they'd be wrestling. And then I was like, damn, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, he's definitely a big time wrestling fan. You can tell he has the roots. Like he's like our age, right? So
yeah, he's our age.
He definitely has those roots, the same roots that we do have growing up. So segueing off of that, like okay, so we're new here, so just bear with us, guys. We're gonna get used to this shit. I was gonna be kind of sloppy today, but segueing from that, since talking about it, he was a wrestling guy like us, our age. Give me your 4 wrestlers all time, so we can gauge this shit.
Top wrestlers of all time.
Your 4 that like you would put on your Mount Rushmore wrestlers.
Oh man,
for you that
definitely Undertaker. Growing up as a kid, Undertaker was my favorite. I remember when my dad had took me and Chris to go. I don't know. Was it?
It had to be at Allstate, right?
It was Allstate Arena, but I can't remember what show. If it was a pay-per-view, it wasn't a pay-per-view. I can't remember if it was Raw or SmackDown.
It was either Raw or SmackDown, but I think it was SmackDown.
I don't know because SmackDown didn't come out till later, right? And we were
maybe it was Raw then, but I remember. I kind of remember where you're going with this.
And the fucking Undertaker came out, and I remember it was like one of the coolest things that ever when I was a little kid.
It was when he had those little girls singing the thing, right?
I just remember the whole arena going black, and then you hear the bell, and then I was just like, everybody was going nuts. And, that shit was awesome. It still, sticks with me today. I love that memory.
Hell yeah, man, Undertaker.
And I would say that's probably like the only memory I have from that show because I don't really remember too much because it was so young.
Is that when we met Hawk and Animal?
No, that was at the Civic Center.
Okay, because I know we met them and see, like I said, everything runs together. I remember meeting them, getting their autograph on my little.
That was TNA at the Hammock Civic Center.
TNA.
Yeah.
God damn, I didn't even know that.
Because Turd was there from Mankind.
I remember Turd being there. See, I thought those were two different shows for some reason.
No, yeah, it was. If I remember correctly, it was TNA at the Hammock Civic Center.
So okay, we got Undertaker now.
Undertaker for sure. Oh man, that's a hard one. I'd say definitely Stone Cold. Love Stone Cold as a kid.
Well, yeah, Stone Cold got to be on there. This fucking, as basic as it is, it got to be Stone Cold. He has to be on there.
Yeah, Stone Cold as a kid. It's Chris. I hate him as an actor, but I loved him as a wrestler. Going with The Rock.
Yeah. As we'll find out here, Christian fucking hates The Rock, and I never fucking understand why.
I don't hate The Rock. I just hate some of the roles he plays. Cause
I thought your favorite movie was San Andreas.
No, that movie was terrible. Probably 1 out of 5.
I heard the ending is fucking majestic because I heard at the ending, they want to rebuild, and they asked Rock, "What do we do next?" Because the road's fucked up, and then he tells them what does he tell them?
I just remember the fucking American flag just coming out of nowhere. It was all rolled up, and then the wind blew it open, and it started dangling in the wind, and then a fucking eagle or something flew by, and then The Rock just looks off in the distance and just says, "We rebuild."
That's amazing. That's so beautiful. It sends the message home. It makes they put I felt like my America, my veins were pumping red, white, and blue at that moment. I was ready to fucking just be an American and rebuild America.
No, that one was. What was that one where he jumped from the fucking crane that was impossible? Everybody...
I never seen that movie, so I can't judge it. I seen the poster that everybody talked about, but that was called Skyscraper.
Yes,
yeah.
I seen the movie and it was entertaining. I'm not gonna lie, it was entertaining. I had fun with it, but I just remember all these physics people were doing equations and saying that jump was physically impossible.
But I'm sure it is. But you can fucking go in with those movies and think okay, this shit ain't possible. Come on, I dragged Christian to see Fast and Furious 9. I love the fucking movies. I'm not gonna lie. More and more thinking about it, 9 was probably it just sucked that the one that I dragged Christian to ended up being the fucking, to me, who likes this garbage, thought that was the worst one I've seen. 9 was pretty bad. But come on, if I love those movies, somehow Vin Diesel knew to hit to fly over the bridge, hit that fucking pole, get that rope on, latch onto the fucking tire, and then they still rolled and did triple rolls, and they didn't have one scratch on them. They didn't even have their seatbelts on. Okay, so that's 2. I mean, that's 3.
Three. That's
so
what I
one
said.
more.
Undertaker, Rock, Stone Cold. I heard those are classics. So I'm going to go for a little bit more newer. I'd say newer wrestlers. I definitely put up, out of all his matches I've seen, I've loved every single one. I'd say Kenny Omega.
Okay.
And then, man, the 5th one, that's hard. Him.
It's funny because your boy Jim Cornette thinks Kenny Omega's garbage.
What?
Calls him
Man,
Twinkle Toes.
every fucking match I've seen from him was phenomenal. And
I'll never understand that fucking bastard Jim Cornette. I would love to talk to him, because I don't get it. Because as you see, we fucking love the Lucha Brothers. I have fucking Pentagon's mask right here. That tag match, that tag match they had in the steel cage against the Young Bucks for the titles when the Lucha Bros won it in Chicago.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the best fucking matches I've ever seen, and he thought it was horrible.
Yeah.
I don't understand him, but I would like to pick his brain.
I don't understand him either, but I do say that one of my favorite matches all time I've seen in person was the Kenny Omega and Adam Page versus the Young Bucks at Revolution when they fought for the tag titles. Oh man, that match was fucking amazing. I just remember being in awe the whole time. Fuck.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to pick your
the
favorites.
5th one's a hard one, man.
Because you just man, who am I gonna have to leave out? But this is just what you define your wrestling as. You know what I mean? Of course, you love all these guys that you see, but this is just your guys that shape your fucking view of wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to think of that.
Damn, I don't know. It's tough. I want to say.
If you want to take your time to think about it, I could name off some of mine for now.
Yeah.
So for sure, I'm gonna have to say Stone Cold. I think, like I said, it's basic, but that's on our age group. That has to be on your list. I feel. I love The Rock, but I'm not gonna put him on my list just because.
Well, I wasn't gonna originally put him on my list, but after I thought about it, I'd say a lot of my favorite matches definitely included him.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I put him and Stone Cold in the same category.
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm picking one of them, I'm picking both of them because they had legendary matches because they had the best feud of all time to me.
Well, I loved The Rock's feud with Mick Foley too.
Oh yeah, the I Quit match, all that shit was great. So that whole era, I'm gonna put him, and I love Triple H. I get that
Triple H.
There's a lot going on. There was a lot with Triple H where people might have like different opinions about him because they say he buried people, but he really, really shaped my I loved him as a heel. I love him. I just love DX. I love
DX
everything.
classic.
Yeah, I just love fucking Triple H. So that's two. See, this shit does get fucking hard. So that's two, and then I have to put Undertaker too.
Undertaker.
You have to put Undertaker because from that memory alone, what you're talking about, I remember that.
Yeah.
It's that bell ringing. It's
just that music. Just
hitting. Just living in that era of wrestling. It's so crazy. And
go
ahead.
Well, and then me and Chris also, we seen his last match at WrestleMania in New Orleans, and even though it wasn't maybe the best match ever,
It was him versus Cena, right?
Yeah, it wasn't the best match ever, but it was still awesome.
To be there to see him.
There to see his very last match that he wrestled, and just a cool memory to have.
Fucking
especially because he's one of our favorites.
Yeah, what was I gonna say about the Undertaker? Oh, it's just damn, why the fuck is this? Why the hell is this? I just had a thought in my head I was gonna say about the Undertaker. I'll just go past it for now. But so Undertaker's definitely one of them. So that's 3, right?
Yeah.
This is hard, bro.
I got my 5th after I thought about it.
Go ahead. So I think
I'd say my 5th would have to be Bret the Hitman Hart.
I agree
because I don't have any. I didn't pick any technical wrestlers, and man, he's he does everything. I love everything. He's not just a technical wrestler, but he was great at doing that too. And
he's the fucking best.
He's the GOAT, man. I'd say he truly is the GOAT.
He was screwed over a lot in his career. Come on, I'm gonna say a lot, but the whole Montreal Screwjob thing.
Yeah.
But man, he's a legend. He's definitely one of the best there is.
Eccentric music was epic too.
Well, as he says, the best there is, best there was, the best there ever will be.
Yep.
But my kind of technical type wrestler, it's gonna be Chris Jericho. I love Chris Jericho.
Yeah, he's a GOAT.
Y2K and Y2J. That was fucking crazy. That countdown, even though we kind of knew what it was gonna be, it was still great to see. Now I'm stuck at number 5. I think I might pick somebody newer in there.
His WCW days were awesome too. And then even now, his AEW matches, they're really good too. Yeah, I mean he doesn't move like he used to, but they're still.
Yeah, you can see him changing. It's crazy, the last 5 years, how much he changed. You can see the age getting to him.
Well, I don't know if you've seen him now, but he looks healthier than he ever has. He's because before he had that dad bod.
Yeah.
Well, now he's fit, physically fit, and he looks like 10 years younger. It's kind of crazy. It's funny because everybody was saying that he got implanted abs because how fast he changed his body. But,
yeah.
I mean, if he did,
and
who knows? Good for him, but he looks a lot better.
That's what's up because he was looking bad there for a minute.
Yeah, he was.
But, so Chris Jericho and then Edge. I don't know. Edge was one of the best heels in history for me.
Yeah.
He was a good face too at times, but I'm not talking about Edge from today's day. It was cool to see him back.
The Brood.
And everything, but the Brood, the Edge, Edge and Christian.
Yep.
We're gonna give you some times for the flash photography. That shit was dope. I always loved everything, man. The Rated R Superstar was one of the best. I think that's what kept me watching wrestling for a while. Up to, like, because I had stopped watching wrestling probably a little bit after 06, 07 maybe.
Yeah.
And then back when 2011 is probably when I started watching again.
I'd say I stopped watching about 2006, and then I didn't pick it back up until we started going to the indie shows.
Yeah, I started watching them with Alex and them, regular.
Oh, I'd come over and like watch like pay-per-views with you guys, but I didn't watch it like regularly until we started going to indie shows, and then it kind of like rekindled that fire that I had.
It's been like 5 years now.
Yeah, no, crazy.
Because it was 2016 or 17.
Yep.
And I remember. You remember how this all started?
It all started because we seen that our local promotion had a match with Alberto El Patron versus MVP.
First of all, screw Alberto. You're a piece of shit. I hate you for everything you've done to all the women that you ever.
Yeah, if I would have known that he was a piece of shit like that, maybe I would have.
Yeah, we didn't know at the time. I don't think anything was out yet, right? Because Paige was there, right?
Was she?
I think that's why one of the reasons I wanted to go. I thought Paige was going to be there because that's when they had left the company.
Yeah.
And MVP, you said, right? Yeah.
Yeah, MVP. And
but that wasn't even the best match of the night. The best match of the night was this women's steel cage match.
Oh man, the hell no, man. They took over an hour to put up the steel cage. The match only lasted 5 minutes, and then they took another hour to take down the steel cage.
That's a grade A wrestling company. Crash Tested Wrestling, shout out.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I remember I was kind of annoyed because I had plans to like go out after the wrestling show, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is taking forever." And then I ended up having to cancel my plans because.
That's why the next weekend you didn't go with us because the next weekend is when it all started. Really, like that lit a little fire.
Yeah.
So that lit a little fire under it, because I think that's because we went with your dad, of course.
Yeah.
And then I guess they lit the fire under to see more wrestling shows.
I said that lit the fire under my dad because he's the one that took the time to like
look it up, right?
To research online to see because he loves Penta and Phoenix. They're his favorite. He's got them fucking tattooed on his kneecaps. That's how much he loves them.
Did he ever show them that?
Yeah, he showed it to them. He's got a picture of it he's got a picture with them. It's pretty dope. And he loves them from Lucha Underground. Ever since the first episode of Lucha Underground, he's always loved them. And so he was, I guess after that MVP show, he was just looking online if they were going to be in Chicago. And just so happened that the very next weekend,
that Penta
was going to be in LaSalle, Illinois, I want to say.
Yeah, it was LaSalle, Illinois at the Knights of Columbus, right?
Yeah.
No, Knights of Columbus. And whatever. It was a hall, hall show.
I'm not going to lie, I regret not going to that show. Because, I had planned. The plans that I had put off, I rescheduled to that weekend, so I didn't end up going with them.
Yeah, me and my brother, Christian's dad, we went to that, and boom, there was a promotion called AAW. We knew nothing of it. I think we got like fourth row seats or something like that, which is fine, you know what I mean? And because it's a small room, so you're basically right on top of the wrestlers regardless. We took, what was it, like an hour and a half drive?
Yeah, about an hour and a half.
Yeah, we got there. And yeah, next thing you know, I think they did shows twice a month, right?
Yeah, they did shows about twice a month.
And
No, it was about
once a month. Sometimes twice a month.
Sometimes twice.
And next thing you know, we went to like every show they had after that.
We became addicted. We started going to every single show that they put on. And it was funny because when they first told me about it, I thought it was going to be a little rinky-dink promotion like the one that we went to.
Because we were like, oh, shit, this is... Oh, the one before we went.
Yeah, before I thought it was going to be a rinky-dink promotion like the one that we seen MVP at. And I was like, I don't know. And then I went with them, and I was like, holy shit, this is 100 times better than the other one that we went to.
Yeah, because it was... Like that was our introduction to the indie scene. I'm sure we knew the indie scene existed, but we didn't know what it was till we went to that.
And I didn't know any promotions. I didn't know that AAW was like a very well-known indie promotion throughout the U.S. So I had no idea. I thought it was...
Yeah, we had no clue what to expect, like when me and your dad first went.
Yeah.
Because also AR Fox, right? That's his name?
Yeah, AR Fox.
AR Fox was there as well. I think that's who he had the match with. It was AR Fox versus Penta. He
was Killshot in Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
Or no, he wasn't. He was AR Fox in Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
Killshot was Shane Strickland.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think he was there as well. Well, he was in that promotion. Though most indie wrestlers went to that promotion. I think the champ at the time, was
Was it Sammy Callahan?
Sammy Callahan. Yeah, I think the whole time that I went with you guys, because I started working for where I was working the weekend, so I barely got to go as much. But as long as I went with you guys, Sammy Callahan was the champion the whole fucking.
He had the belt for when we started going. He had it for like even a year, like for a whole year, maybe even longer, because he had it before we started going.
Yeah, it's crazy. He finally dropped it, right?
Yeah.
Does he still wrestle with them?
He hasn't been back since the pandemic started, but I think it's because he broke his leg, so he hasn't wrestled anywhere.
Yeah, because sometimes I haven't heard of him as much, because I remember he was really big when we first started. He was huge in the indie scene.
Yeah.
Him and his wife. Well, this is his wife, right?
Yeah. Oh, I think so. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. I just we don't know.
He's on Impact now, but like I said, he broke his leg, so he's been out of action.
Yeah, if, for you guys that don't really follow indie stuff or anything, Sammy Callahan's name was Solomon Crow on NXT. Have you ever watched NXT that was like years ago? They did him dirty. That was a horrible gimmick. He was like a hacker or some bullshit.
Yeah. And then they fucking brought that gimmick back. Remember for
Mustafa Ali?
Yeah.
Who, give my boy his release. He wants his release, give it to him.
I know,
damn
man.
it.
Fuck, man. They're just wasting his time. It's messed up.
Okay, so going off for wrestling now. Like I said, we'll figure out our topics as we go. But moving off of wrestling, because that's one of our main topics we're going to talk about is fucking wrestling. So now that we got wrestling done, we got our history with that. First movie experience you could think of, like movie theater was. I have it in my head. I don't know if you have the same one.
Man, we might have different ones, because my first movie experience that I remember was when my parents took me to go see. I probably was like 3.
It's gonna be the same movie. I know it.
Probably 3. My parents took me to go see Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh,
no. Nightmare on Elm Street. I can't remember.
Probably Freddy's Dead.
It was one of those. It was the one that came out in like 95,
Keep talking.
96.
I can look it up real quick.
And I just remember, I faintly remember it, but I remember some scenes, and that's probably the earliest memory I can think of movie that I went to go see. And I remember people telling my parents, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're taking him to go see this movie." Like people at the theater, like, they were.
So you were like 3, right?
Probably like 3 or 4.
It was New Nightmare.
Yeah, New Nightmare. Yep, that's my very first movie memory.
It was crazy. It's my first movie memory is with you and your parents as well. It's another movie they probably shouldn't have took us to see.
What?
The Crow.
Oh, The Crow, for real? That one I don't remember. I don't remember seeing The Crow in theaters. But let
me see. The Crow came out the same year. This was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was The Crow. I remember seeing The Crow.
I don't remember seeing that one. It's kind of weird.
Unless it was a trailer, but I remember seeing The Crow. At least the trailer.
I remember seeing The Crow, but I don't remember going to the theaters to see it. But
I was saying, like, the memories of seeing it on the screen.
Yeah.
But it could have easily just been a trailer,
Yeah.
But other than that, the one that I remember a lot is Toy Story.
Toy Story, yeah.
Because we've seen it. There's a little theater by us. Back in the day, used to be before the big megaplexes. It was the single or double theaters, like 2 screens or 1 screen.
Yeah.
And it was the one that was in that strip mall where where Kmart was by us.
Oh yeah.
In Griffith, Indiana. Yeah, I remember seeing it there. Was it around the same year? Because did we see Lion King in the theater? You think? Probably not, right?
I think maybe. I know I have the VHS at home, so I would imagine we've probably seen it at the theater.
So it was like between those were like the memories I know for sure, but I know I seen The Crow on a screen.
Early memory for me was the Power Rangers movie as well. I remember us going to see the Power Rangers movie at the theaters. I don't know if you remember that one or not.
Yeah, I remember definitely seeing the Power Rangers movie in the theaters.
Fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers come on, and they're all skydiving out of the plane.
What? Ivan Ooze? Fucking Ivan Ooze, bro. Fucking legend. I'm going to get a figure of Ivan Ooze and put him right here.
Do they have a pop figure of him?
I'm gonna look for a Hot Toys figure, my guy. No, maybe. Another memory I have too is the Rugrats movie. Do you remember this or no?
Yeah, I remember. Which one? The very first one?
Very first one, because what I remember about it.
The one with the train, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what I remember about it was at because this is when Showplace 16. It must have been a newer theater.
Yeah.
Because this was in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
I went with you guys. We were going to go see it there at Showplace, but all showings were sold out. And then your dad had the thought, we'll go to one in Calumet City, by the River Oaks Mall.
Yeah.
And I remember, I don't know why this happened, but I remember there was another lady running up to the ticket booth, and your dad made your mom get out the car and run up to the ticket booth because he thought she was going to get the last tickets. And then we went into the theater, and there was nobody in the theater there. It was like empty compared to like Showplace 16, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Probably because it was new in town.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I remember that. I don't, what I mean? Oh man, arcade movies, dude.
I'm trying to think of another fucking early movie that we've seen.
I could think of a movie.
You know what's funny? I don't remember. My parents told me that they took us to go see like Power Rangers live.
Oh yeah, I remember it.
I don't remember it, but they said like the little clay guys came up to us and me and you were freaking out.
Okay, so I never heard about you freaking out.
Yeah.
But I remember it. I do. It scarred me. The little putty men?
Yeah, putty men.
So we went to you don't remember this. So,
Star Plaza. It was at Star Plaza, right?
It was either Star Plaza or Rosemont. Rosemont Theater or Star Plaza. But, I go, as a kid, I don't know where it's at.
Yeah.
I just remember us being there and we kind of... So I guess where we're sitting was kind of like towards the edge of like where they run in and out of, I guess, for some fucking reason. By the edge of the stairs, I would say.
Yeah.
And I guess the putty men were running around, and they came and grabbed like the edge of my chair, and I screamed and started crying. I remember that. I remember that whole show, but I do remember that. I have the image in my fucking head that scarred me. And I laugh now because why the fuck was I scared of a putty? I was never scared of a putty, but I guess, yeah. So you must have been freaking out too. I didn't know you freaked out.
Yeah, I think so, probably. I
Yeah,
imagine
I know.
we're sitting next to each other.
I know we've seen that live and we've seen Rugrats live too.
We seen Rugrats live?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm like, 9 months older, so I might remember a little more, I guess. I don't know.
I don't remember Rugrats live. That's weird.
Rugrats fucking live. Yeah, what you got? I know when you seen Doug first movie, that's a great experience for you, right?
Oh, yeah. All right, I got a question for you. What's your very first music memory?
Between two. It is...
Like very first, like I don't know. What would you say? Like a music memory? What would you say? Like your very first concert,
I could give
or would
you
you say like very first album that you loved?
I could say the very first song that I got I got a lot actually, but I'll give you like the first song I can remember that I really liked.
Yeah.
I don't know what song it was. Damn. Maybe that's a little too much. Maybe it's a little older than I can remember. I mean, maybe it's a little older than I think it is, but I know Red Hot Chili Peppers is one of them.
Oh yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I can't remember what song it is exactly. I don't know.
I
don't want to say it's Californication, except like I have to find out when that came out.
No, the Californication was later. Later, probably we were definitely
Maybe
older.
it was.
I remember. I'd say Red Hot Chili Peppers is one of my favorite too, because my dad always used to listen to them all the time.
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
But I don't know if it was my first music memory, but I know one of my favorite songs as a kid was from them. It was the Roller Coaster, the one, a Roller Coaster of Love.
Oh yeah.
You remember it was in the Beavis and Butthead movie?
Yeah.
Well, shout out to my parents. I remember they taking me to see the Beavis and Butthead movie. I probably shouldn't have seen that.
There's a lot of shit we shouldn't have seen, man.
Especially him in the fucking RV coming all putting his little spider webs all over the place. Remember?
Because the thing is, it's beautiful about that. It's when we're kids, we're not questioning because we don't know what the fuck was going on. Everybody else is laughing. We're like, oh yeah, it's funny. Fucking.
Well, it's a cartoon, so that's why. That's why I liked it. Shit, me and Chrissy, we were playing Beavis and Butthead on the fucking Sega Genesis.
Sega Genesis. And you play that game now, you're like, oh, jeez. Fucking. Another music memory I have, shout out to my brother Dennis, is Master P Ice Cream Man. That's what I was gonna say. It's kind of fucked up, but I remember him playing that nonstop. It's the ice cream man, and as a kid, I'm like, oh, the ice cream man, you know, fucking. And find out it's about drugs. It's about drug dealer, right?
Yeah.
Fuck. I'll tell you what got me into. Well, of course I liked rap. Of course, you know, hearing certain things, probably like Snoop Dogg and shit. But my first rap album that I loved is Eminem, probably Marshall Mathers LP.
Yeah. You want to know the very first rap album I ever bought?
Was it?
Because I don't know if I don't know. Some people might be too young for this, and I might not remember. But you would get things in the mail for like CDs, and you can mark what CD you want and put money in the envelope, send it, and then they mail you. It was like a kind of like a book, and they had like different CDs, and then like a mail order kind of thing,
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember those back in the day.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
So my dad, we used to get those at the house all the time. My dad would order CDs like that. And my very first rap album was Big Willie Style. by
yeah,
Will
I
Smith.
remember this. Hell yeah.
That was my very first CD and my very first rap album.
Yeah, man, I can't.
It was all about Miami, man. For some reason I love that song. I don't know why.
I'll be honest with you. I think I was trying to avoid it. But I think my very first CD was a Backstreet Boys CD.
Oh yeah. It was either I don't know which came out first, Big Willie Style or Backstreet Boys. But
Millennium. I just remember that's the one I had.
Big Willie Style definitely came out before Millennium.
That's the one I had. It was Millennium. I'm not gonna lie. Fuck it. I love the Backstreet Boys. Fucking
Hey man,
Backstreet's back. All right.
We all did.
Larger than life. I knew all the fucking songs word for word, and I didn't know. Like I guess my dumb ass didn't know. Like, of course, gender roles or whatever the fuck. But back then, that's what it was. I didn't know it was for girls. You know what I mean? Technically, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Like, but I thought they were just shit. I used to hate Backstreet Boys. I mean, not Backstreet Boys. I used to hate NSYNC because they'd be like, "Fuck you!" It's all about the Backstreet Boys.
You couldn't be fans of both. It was one or another.
Yeah, it was like the Cubs and White Sox situation all over again. Speaking of, we're diehard fucking Cubs fans. Like it or leave it, bitch.
Backstreet Boys was shit. I can't remember which one was first. And then
Probably Big Willie style, if I had to guess.
Yeah, probably Big Willie. What's funny too? I don't know why, because CDs were out at the time. I don't know why I have a cassette, but for some reason I have a cassette of Smash Mouth, the All Star, the album that that song All Star came on.
Hey now, you're awesome.
And I have it at home, and it's in perfect condition. Like it looks like it's never been fucking.
Probably never was.
Probably never been played. It probably never was because I didn't have a cassette player when I was a kid. I had a CD player, but for some reason I have a fucking Smash Mouth cassette.
Yeah, my dad had a cassette player in one of his cars, and that's how I used to. Because I remember one of the ones I've had was LFO.
Oh yeah, Chris. Oh, Chris. One memory I have, Chris. One of his favorite guys. I never really liked him, but for some reason, Chris used to love Sugar Ray, man.
Why did I love Sugar Ray? I loved Sugar Ray, man. Because the name Sugar was.
I remember every time we'd hang out, he'd always fucking play that damn CD, or I don't know if it was CD or cassette or what, but he'd always fucking play that shit.
And you had a problem with it, huh?
I never had a problem with it, but I just remember thinking to myself, like, man, why does Chris like this song so much?
What song was it?
It was the one that I don't have my phone on me. I don't know the name of it. It's been so long. It was like his number one hit.
It wasn't Sugar You So Fly or whatever that. Sugar Ray, man.
It's another early memory for me. Crazy Town.
Crazy Town, yeah.
Butterfly. That's another early memory.
See, that's what I was thinking. That's not.
Shout out to my dad, man. He, like I said, he kept me up to date with all these badass songs.
Fly, Sugar Ray.
Yeah, that was it. You used to fucking love that one, man.
That was the shit. That's ska. That's what that music's called. Ska music was the shit back in the day, boy.
Back when I was a kid, I didn't know that was called ska.
Well, I didn't know till later in life.
Yeah.
I'm like a couple years ago, everybody's talking about ska. I'm like, what the fuck's ska? And I look it up. I'm like, oh.
I didn't realize what you call it was
Because No
ska.
Doubt was that.
Yes, No Doubt was ska, but I as a kid I used to love them, and then I didn't realize there was ska. Considered ska was Damn, I can't think of the name of it. Sublime?
Sublime, yeah.
Yeah.
Sublime kind of, but Sublime could also be like that punk pop era too.
Yeah.
Um,
Shout out to Dave Mera, BMX video game, because that's the only song in that fucking whole video game. And I remember the song "What I Got." Man, I used to play that game for like 10 hours straight, and that's the only.
What I got.
That's the only song I'd hear, and I remember sometimes it annoyed me so much I wanted to fucking break my TV.
Well, you know what I remember as far as like music and video games is the whole Tony Hawk one. Remember all that? Those
Oh yeah.
There's one song in there.
Superman or whatever the hell, or
Hold up, I will look this up.
fun fact, I seen they had Tony Hawk soundtrack on vinyl, and I wanted to buy it, but I think it sold out. Should have bought it because I love that soundtrack. They should put a 7-inch out for Dave Mera BMX.
They do. They should. That's what I got. Oh, fuck it. Oh, I just know I'll play it later for you. But there's one I remember that I really like, but it's just like, damn. Oh, this guy looks stupid. I'm just putting his hands like that. He looks like he look like my friend Alex. But
Oh, you'll meet Alex, or you guys already might know Alex. He's from.
If you guys are fans of the Smoker Section podcast, you guys know of Alex and Hector. They will definitely be on this podcast when we do. So, what's the plans for this podcast, Christian? Because we're pretty much wrapped up our music, movies, and wrestling kind of love for now. So,
I'd say the plans is just to just talk about weekly about like new things coming out,
stuff we've seen, new or old or whatever.
Maybe news that we've seen like that has to deal with movies. We can like talk about our opinions on it and stuff.
Regarding any of the subjects we love.
Yeah, like news. We're gonna cover news. We're gonna cover like weekly topics of like things coming out, maybe new CDs coming out. Give us our opinions, new movies, new video games.
As far as wrestling goes,
we want to talk. We don't really. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't really like watch Raw or SmackDown like that, and so like I don't keep up with the storylines too much.
We know kind of like breaking news and stuff.
Yeah, we just know kind of breaking
and
news.
we watch the pay-per-views.
I used to watch the product when we first got into wrestling again, but then, nowadays
it's hard. I'm not going to lie. They make it hard to watch.
Yeah, they make it hard to watch.
It's kind of hard to even watch the pay-per-views from time to time.
Also, shout out to Big E. Get well soon.
Yeah, man. Big E. Love you, man. I'm so glad. And that could have ended so horribly, but I'm glad it didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't mess with his spinal cord, so that's great. Great to you, man. I love you.
We're also talking about maybe like pay-per-views, having like a little maybe like pre-show, like
pre-show and after show.
Yeah, kind of like maybe pre-thoughts and then after-thoughts of the pay-per-views, and then like maybe just like little. I don't think we could show clips because we might get in trouble for that.
No, but we'll do like a prediction show of who we think is going to win. That's what I want to do. I want to do a prediction show of who we think is going to win what. We can even make our own title.
Yeah.
And whoever gets more right wins that. It's more to think about. See, you just got that right here. But if we do a prediction show, I want to do a results show.
Yep.
And that'd be fun. That'd be very fun. Yeah, and then
I'm also thinking like because we like to go, like I said, we like to go to a lot of concerts, or we like to go to a lot of wrestling shows,
a lot of movie events.
So maybe we can like go do a little like maybe go live a little bit from
that stuff. Yeah,
from that stuff, and like
we come back and tell our thoughts about it.
Yeah, come back to our thoughts about it or talk about our experience, and then
make sure to follow us on our
social medias
because we will put stuff in there.
Yeah, and then I because in a couple weeks I'm going to be going to WrestleMania for Dallas, so I was thinking maybe on social media I'm going to be posting a lot of photos or videos.
Yes,
so definitely
that'd be awesome.
Definitely keep track of that. You might see some cool stuff because I'm going to go to a lot of indie events as well. Besides WrestleMania itself.
And for anybody listening, if you listen to this before, because this will be out before WrestleMania, if you have any suggestions, I know Christian was looking for, but he I know you only have a limited time out there, but there's some stuff you wanted to check out, like a barbecue joints.
Yeah, I'm looking for good barbecue.
So if you know any
not
great,
just barbecue, but just anywhere great in the Dallas area.
in the Dallas area, great places to check out for him. Please let him know. If you have any questions or any topics you want us to talk about, you could. We'll have links to our email. But what's our email, Christian?
Email is just popculturebd22@gmail.com.
Popculturebd for breakdown and.
Or not breakdown, you mean beatdown.
Beatdown. Oh,
You're like now you're
we're
feeling
gonna cover
that
every
guy.
topic under the sun, bro. Good topic under the sun.
But yeah, popculturebd 22@gmail.com. And I believe all our social medias should be the same. Popculturebd.
Yeah, because nobody took that amazing fucking name.
It was just funny. I was at work and at first I was thinking of like names that just like kind of deal with me and you know, kind of.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I don't know. That sounds kind of lame. You know, I'm not going to be like Chris.
The Chris and Chris podcast.
Yeah, the Chris and Chris podcast or whatever. And then I was like, maybe something about pop culture. And then for some reason, Beatdown popped in my head. And I was like, you know what? That sounds pretty dope. Pop culture Beatdown. And then first thing I did was search online. Like, oh, man, please don't let nobody else have this name.
And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of didn't believe you when you texted me that because I'm like, that's too good of a name. So I looked everywhere. I'm like, wow, nobody fucking has this damn name. Fuck it, let's do it. It's crazy because of course we've always loved movies. We always loved all this stuff. But I think what really kickstarted this was the Batman.
Yeah, Batman. Yeah,
because we both saw it and we both loved it. I don't care what anybody says. I think more and more I sit with it, I think it might be better than The Dark Knight in my eyes. I have to watch it again.
Well, somebody made a good point. They said The Dark Knight is more of a movie for the villains. You know, like the villains shine in that movie. And, you know, that's a good point because the villain, Two-Face and Joker, they really do shine through that movie. They make that movie for sure. And, you know, Christian Bale did a good job as well. You know, loved him as Batman. But
yeah, he was a great Bruce Wayne.
The villains really do shine in that movie. And in this movie, Batman is like, you know,
Batman's at 90% of the fucking movie.
From beginning to end, like that's all you see, Batman. And it's cool to like hear his thoughts, like his mental, how he's.
I like that he writes it in the diary or whatever, like kind of like jots down the shit that, you know, so he knows. I like his gadgets and everything.
Yeah.
See, well, fuck it. I didn't think we were gonna do this, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit. You know what pissed me off was people talked shit like, "Oh, you can't tell the difference between Batman and Bruce Wayne in this movie." Well, to me, in my eyes, this is the second. If you pay attention to the fucking movie, you know this is the second year as Batman. And in the beginning, he's talking about how crime went up and everything like that since he came. Like, it's not really going, it's not changing anything because he's real vengeful. And then if you see him, there's no disconnect. He is Batman.
Yeah.
Even when, that's the point. He still is Batman when he's Bruce Wayne. That's why he's real disconnected from people. He's a bitch to fucking Alfred. And then at the end of the movie, he says, I think it's time for me to change. I need to be hope.
Yeah.
I don't need to be vengeance anymore. I need to be hope for this city. So I think going forward is going to be different. I think this was like if you're going in thinking you're going to see some fucking Batman, you know, this is a whole different experience, and I fucking loved every second of it.
Well, in the interviews, Robert Pattinson talked about how he requested that he didn't want to be the Playboy persona in this movie because, like Chris said, he you know, when he take off the outfit, he didn't want to disconnect from who he was because he's still a young Batman, and he doesn't have that persona yet, the Playboy persona. He's just, all he knows is just, you know, just
vengeance. Right now. Like, he's just really depressed. Like, he's a messed up human right now.
Yeah.
Because what happened to his parents messed him up. And that's what I like, too, is that they didn't really have their origin, but they kind of did in a way, because showing what happened to that kid in the beginning and how he kept looking at him, like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He's looking at him, like, feeling that pain. Like, I feel your pain, pretty much. I don't know. I thought it was a well-done movie. I loved it. I got to see it again.
Oh, yeah. I want to
see it in IMAX one more time.
Might go see it this week, actually.
Lucky
maybe.
is.
Maybe. Oh, I'm saying I want to go see it again, but I don't know. Maybe Tuesday. Maybe I have to go see it alone, though. I don't think.
I'll go with you, baby. We'll see what's up. Yeah, man. I think this is going to be fun, man.
If you haven't, go watch it.
Go watch it if you haven't. Don't be if you didn't like it. Fuck you. No playing. If you didn't like it, that's fine.
If you don't like it, it's your opinion, but I loved it, and I think you should really go back, rewatch it, maybe change your opinion.
So, before we wrap up this first episode here, give me your favorite movie that you can think of. I'll just say one of your favorite movies. It's hard to narrow down your favorite movie. Mine always changes. Give me one of your favorite movies, and then one of the worst movies you ever fucking seen.
But my favorite movie always changes too. But one that's stuck with me a lot recently, that I fucking love, and I can rewatch and rewatch and rewatch, would probably be Blade Runner 2049?
The newest one?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not going to use that as my pick right now.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. It's crazy that like some people find that movie boring. I could watch that movie and just put it on and just fucking get sucked up in that bitch.
I love that movie, man. Sci-fi. I love sci-fi. I've always loved sci-fi.
From that beginning scene, the Batista scene, and oh man, I just love that fucking movie. I'm glad we got to see that in the big
fucking
screen.
Soundtrack was 10 out of 10. Hans Zimmerman killed that shit.
That was actually one of the first times that like, because at the time a lot of movies were coming out that were sequels to movies from like the 80s and shit.
Yeah.
And they were kind of ass. So I was kind of worried about that for being from Blade Runner. And it's funny, I had just recently seen Blade Runner with you in the theaters before that came out. Because remember we went to like a special screening of it?
Yeah.
And then seeing that, it's just like, wow, they kind of outdid it almost. You know what I mean? Like it was so beautifully done.
Shots were beautiful.
That guy, that director is a fucking... I'm still upset I haven't seen Dune, but that's the same director.
Yeah.
And writer.
But yeah, he killed that movie. I love that movie. I mean, the original Blade Runner is a classic too, but just with the new, new special effects and stuff like that, and just, I don't know, that movie was amazing.
Just the storytelling is so beautiful.
Yeah,
man.
storytelling was great. How they tied it in with the original Blade Runner, I loved it.
The guy that does the cinematography for it, Roger Deakins, he's great. It's his fucking job. Because every scene was beautiful. Yeah, man, you got me fucking loving this movie. I love it too, but
it was funny because before that, I would have to say, man, it would have had to been that was a great fucking sequel too. Was well, I don't even know. Would you call it a sequel or would it be a reboot? Was Tron? Was that a reboot or was it a sequel?
It was a sequel.
Was it?
It was technically a sequel because remember, it's him going. It's Flint's son.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, because he's in. Yeah, so it's a sequel. Tron Legacy.
Yeah, Tron Legacy. I love that one too. I love that movie.
The other one with a great soundtrack as well.
Yep.
Shout out to our boys, Daft Punk.
So glad I was able to cop that baby on vinyl. It took me forever.
Okay, so my favorite right now, fuck. Well, okay, I'm gonna give one. I'm gonna do like you kind of did two, so I'm gonna do two as well. One of them is definitely fucking Big Lebowski.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
Mine were like newer movies. Of course I have a classic one, but we'll save that for another episode.
Yeah. Okay, well, Big Lebowski. I guess watch that movie. You can put it on right now, and I can watch it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go with like a newer type movie too.
Yeah.
Another one, like you said, I could just pop it on. I love to watch it in the winter. I watch it at least when it's snowing. I love watching it. Is
Christmas Story.
The Hateful Fucking Eight, man, by Quentin Tarantino.
Oh man, that was great.
I don't know. It's crazy how I watch people list his movies and they always put that like in the lower tier.
Yeah.
But that's one of my favorite, if not my favorite. I just love and I can see where a lot of people won't like it because for the most part, it's all in one spot. It's in the haberdashery.
See, that's weird. Me and you are weirdos. We might be weirdos because we love movies that just take place in like one spot the whole time. And like a lot of our friends are always criticizing movies like that. Like our friend Jimmy, what's that one movie with Jake Gyllenhaal?
I watched it. It was great.
Yeah.
The Guilty with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah, he's like, oh, I didn't like it because it just took place in one room the whole movie. But like, it's just like the emotion and like everything that
it's them putting their acting on like 10.
Yeah,
and it's just like I don't know. It's like the drama and the action comes from their words. Like Samuel L. Jackson when he tells that story in that movie. Oh man, but the story of that guy's son that ends up sucking his dick. I don't know, that whole fucking, I love that fucking movie.
And then the suspense of
Wondering who's working with old girl
Yeah.
because somebody wants to free her.
yeah.
Daisy Damargu, and then what you call it?
And then who poisoned? Because remember somebody poisoned the coffee. Was it?
Yeah,
Somebody
because that's how the fucking.
or was it soup? I can't remember.
It was the coffee.
It was coffee.
Because
Yeah.
that's how. So when we went to go see it in the theater, I think this is what has a lot to do with why I love it. Is we went to the road show, and it was like this real big long cut, like it was like a 4-hour cut of it, right?
Yeah.
And it was with the overture in the beginning, and the intermission between, and it was like how Quentin Tarantino wanted you to see it on the 70mm projection. We went to somewhere in Illinois and Alsop to go see it.
Yeah.
We went again with our parent, my dad and his dad,
David.
and our cousin David. It was a great fucking experience, and I think that had a lot to do.
And we got to keep a little cool booklet.
Yeah, I still have that framed.
I have that too. Yeah, like a little booklet that like kind of explained the movie and
Showed behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
But so I remember him throwing up everywhere and dying, and then boom, intermission. So I remember you had to sit with that. But I remember I ran up, I was like, I gotta go. We all had to go piss. I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it's a great movie, man. So now you give me your worst.
Ah man,
This
worst.
is one of the worst movies you could think of. I have mine. I'm ready to go.
One of the worst movies I've ever watched was. Man, I don't know. That's hard because I've seen a lot of terrible movies.
Well, I'm gonna go with mine then.
You go first.
House of the Dead.
House of the Dead. No,
House of the fucking Dead.
House of the Dead was fucking.
And the reason why I remember that being so bad is because that's one of the times when it's hard with me. I try to defend movies. I don't know what it is. I can sit there and think a movie's horrible, but if I hear somebody say how bad it is, for someone like, no, it wasn't that bad. And then I'm like, why am I getting like that? But no, House of the Dead is so fucking one of the worst movies I ever fucking seen. I think the reason why we wanted to see it so bad is because
We love the games.
we love the games when you go to the movie theater and you get to play the arcade game with it, with the little, point and click shit. And we made my dad, well, we didn't make him. My dad took us to go see it. And it was during the summertime. I don't remember exactly when they came out, but I know it was either spring or summer because the Cubs were playing.
Yeah.
And when we got out of the theater, we got in my dad's van. He put the radio on. The Cubs were playing baseball. Aramis Ramirez gets up to the plate and hits a grand slam. And he turns back and goes, you guys made me miss seeing that fucking grand slam on the television. I had to listen to it on the radio because you made me go take you guys to see that fucking garbage-ass movie. That's how I knew that movie was horrible. Well, I already knew it was, but I'm sorry.
Well,
I think I said it wasn't that bad. It was good.
When we were kids, it was hard to like say a movie was bad, but if we were kids and we said that movie was bad, yeah, you definitely know it was a terrible movie. I'd say one of my probably the worst. I don't know if it's the worst movie I've ever seen, but one of the worst movies I can recall was when we went to go see Rollerball.
Oh man, that was another one that was before. I don't know. It was around the same time, but that's another one. I think we couldn't defend that one either.
No, we couldn't defend that.
I remember there was a whole night vision scene where you couldn't see shit in it. That movie was god, I can't even remember what that movie was about.
Did you watch it recently? Like wasn't?
Oh,
it on
I
TV?
seen it. It was like about like last year. It was on like I don't know what the fuck it was doing on TV, but it was on TV, and I remember just like, God, this movie is so horrible. Is it was my throw up thinking about how horrible that movie is.
Wasn't it like it's supposed to be a big deal too when it came out back in?
At least we probably made it a big deal. I'm probably like because I think Paul Heyman was in it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So-
Paul Heyman was in it. Yep.
So we're like, oh shit, Paul Heyman. God, that movie was fucking hard. What was it? It was like supposed to be like a new sport and shit, right?
Yeah, some kind of news.
I bet you if you give that to the right that script,
Was
not
it a
that script,
WWE movie?
no.
No.
But I'm sure if you give that movie, that concept, to the right person, they can make a great movie out of it.
Yeah.
I think that's what's so bad about it.
That was terrible, man. I just remember being so bored in the movie theater, like man.
Yeah, I don't even think the action was that good, and I don't even think there was much in it. I remember, I'll touch on two other horrible movies we've seen together, real quick before we end it here. You remember The Spirit?
Oh man, that was the biggest disappointment I've ever.
Frank Miller's The Spirit.
That was the biggest disappointment, man. Me and Chris were so hyped for that movie.
Because of the Sin City movie.
Yep.
And what it is so I realized what happened with that fucking Spirit. Frank Miller wrote the comic book Sin City. That's all he did.
Yeah.
The Spirit. But what happened with Sin City is Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino did that movie.
Yeah.
Which made that movie fucking excellent. Frank Miller, with the success of writing off the success of that.
Speaking of that, real quick, Quentin Tarantino and
Robert.
Yeah, Robert Rodriguez, hands down, probably some of my favorite.
Great.
Fucking directors.
Those guys are the best.
Yeah. Even Spy Kids, I love Spy Kids.
Yeah, I just don't like some of the shit that Robert Rodriguez does, but when he does the shit right, fucking great. But Quentin Tarantino don't have a bad movie in my opinion.
Yeah.
But no, so after the success of that movie being great and doing great, they wanted him to do a Spirit movie.
Yeah.
Well, he said, I'll do it if I get write and direct it. That's what fucking happened.
Frank Miller.
Yeah, he wrote and directed.
He wrote and directed that movie.
That's why it was so fucking. God, that was probably.
It just didn't make sense, man. I just remember watching this movie, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on right now?
And you know what's funny?
What?
It was me and you went to go see that.
It might have made sense, like comic book wise. Maybe
maybe I'll read the comic one day.
Maybe on paper it might have made more sense, but on the fucking big screen, that shit was terrible.
Oh, remember the Nazi scene with fucking Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah.
Golly, fucking.
Wasn't there like an octopus or something?
His name was Dr. Octopus.
Oh, Dr. Octopus.
Or some shit like that. I don't know. Because remember, I got legs everywhere or some shit. Oh, fucking. And then I remember, you know what's funny as fuck why these movies both come up in my mind whenever I think about one.
Yeah.
The other one comes up. We must have seen them like back to back or something because we saw that one.
Oh, was that because I remember me and you were like, man, I remember us talking and we were like, man, we were like having a bad
yes.
We're having like a bad what would you say?
Like rut with movies.
Yeah,
like,
rut with movies because I
movies.
remember we seen two bad movies back to back.
Yeah, so I think what happened with that one is your parents and your sister must have gone seen like bedtime stories or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then we met up after the movies were over and we told them how horrible it was.
Yeah.
And then fast forward a week later, we go see The Punisher whatever the hell it's called. Warzone.
Yeah.
And then my parents went to go see some other movie and took your little sister. And that movie was just so horrible. Down to the fucking guy pretending to be Hispanic and shit.
What about that scene when wasn't like the Punisher hanging from like a fucking chandelier and he's spinning around shooting or whatever?
Remember how bad the makeup looked for the Jigsaw guy?
Oh yeah.
Oh god. And
which made me upset because the first Punisher I actually liked the first Punisher.
Yeah, I don't hear anybody says a lot of people hate on it, but I love the one with Thomas Jane.
Yeah.
I think that's one of that's my Punisher. I really fucked up opinion here because I know everybody loves it. I wasn't a fan of the Netflix one. Wasn't a big fan of it. It was kind of boring to me. I don't care. Thomas Jane's my Punisher.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't really watch it because because you got introduced him through
Daredevil TV
Daredevil. Yeah, I didn't really like him as Punisher, so I didn't. I like him as an actor, but I didn't like him as Punisher.
Yeah, I think Oh Boy is a great actor, but yeah, he's not my fucking Punisher. Not my Frank Castle. But I remember leaving that movie, Punisher, Punisher Warzone. Yeah. And we were like, man, the movie was horrible. And your sister said, man, what do you guys only see? Bad movies or what?
That was a terrible movie. But the very first Punisher, it was kind of crazy because the first one I liked a lot. Kevin Nash was awesome in it.
He was the fucking Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that video game is the best one of the best comic book video games I ever played. I wish they would remake it or, reskin it or something because I love that game.
It was probably I don't think they could make a video game like that anymore because it was just too violent.
I remember you would go by the TVs and shove the people's heads into TVs and shit.
Remember the one with the fucking, you're at the zoo and you hold the guy up to the rhino cage and the rhino puts its horn through him?
Yeah. You can feed them to the animals, the tigers and shit.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Oh, man. See, we have crazy knowledge for crazy shit.
Just like Manhunt, I don't believe they would never remaster Manhunt because...
Do you remember we got in trouble for that game?
Yeah.
My mom freaked out
Yeah.
because she walked in and she seen us killing a guy with a with a plastic bag. So what the fuck are you guys playing? I don't know. Christian told me to rent it.
That was a great game. I wish.
That was crazy. That was for the GameCube, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like for all the. I think it was for everything. GameCube,
They got away with a lot of shit back
Was it
then.
PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2?
PlayStation 2 was around the time of the GameCube.
So it's PlayStation 2 and
Yeah, it's crazy how much shit they got away with back in the day because that shit wouldn't fly today.
no, hell no.
You rated M for mature or not, that shit wouldn't fly today.
That'd be rated like what's over mature? Isn't it like the red band or something like that, or red
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I just know that for sure that would not fly today.
Oh no.
But yeah, man, wrapping up here. Yeah, this was kind of our introduction episode.
Maybe a little bit all over the place, but you kind of get an idea of where we're going with it.
To be honest with you, that's what's gonna be. We're gonna try our best to stay on topic with shit, but we're gonna try to keep this as natural as we can.
Yeah, we don't want to be like too much of a robot. Like, all right, here's topic one.
You can hear a lot of that. If you heard that, you can hear a lot of that too.
Here's topic one. Here's topic two. We don't want to do that. We want it to be more natural.
Yeah, that's just what. As you can see here, we were kind of like at first didn't know because I'm not gonna lie, I just pressed record and we're like, follow me, Christian. We're gonna do this.
And it's kind of a little harder for me because I've been on podcast episodes for Smoker Section, but I've only been a guest. I've never hosted, so I never. I was kind of like lost in the beginning because I was like, man, I don't know
what to do here.
Yeah, what to do here.
You have nobody leading the way for you.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, like I said, we're working out the kinks. It's gonna be fun. I already loved this so far. I loved doing the podcast Smoker Section, so I wanted something else to talk about. So you came up with the opportunity for me to do this with you, and I think it's gonna be great.
Don't worry, we're gonna have the studio more decorated soon.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure there's distinctive looks for each podcast, so you're not looking at the same thing every time. That's why we got our little guys up here.
Yeah, we're gonna make it a little bit more fancier.
We definitely want to have Mr. Frederick from Smoker Section on to fucking
he
put
said,
some knowledge into him.
He said that he was down if we do like an old school
wrestling
event. Maybe like watch some old on the TV over here. Maybe put on some old in
old
the background.
Matches,
we can have old matches in the background and just talk about them and stuff like that.
Talk about our memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Christian, let's get this shit going for our first episode.
Yep, first episode down. Be sure to
plenty more to come.
Yep.
I don't have a catchy phrase yet. I don't think he does either. This is the pop culture beatdown, not breakdown, but we will cover everything under the sun.
Hey. Yeah. RKO, she in the south like Miss Foley, she know that we making it hot. Chris, we be the champs to the people, you know it's like we be the rock. Back to back, we pack a punch like Ray Sangan, I think you should know we ballin'. And rest in peace Kobe, we on 'em. We loose in the streets and our crew is elite like Wakanda. No, you shouldn't sleep. When Chris get to talking, can't miss it like shooting your shot. We be the mans, we flaming the spot. We going sand, Kamehameha. Into the Christophers. No, this is not for the feeble. The coaches, you know that they need us. Like vultures, we feed it. We ballin' like Khan. We feelin' like John because you cannot see us. We up, you can't reach us. Rest in peace, Eddie. No lying, no cheating. We just speaking facts. Feelin' like Dent. You know, on any dark night, we be ready like we is the bet. Far from a joke. Like John Wick, we be lethal like Baki. No, we never fail. Ready to pop. Ready to beat down the culture like Ang. You know, we on the trail. Yeah.